We are back in the skinny era. Everyone is talking about how heroin chic is coming back and everyone's on Ozempic. A new TikTok trend using a chubby filter is showing you the alternate version of you if you were obese. And a lot of fat activists and body positivity advocates are seeing this become popular, and they are outraged by it, understandably so. It's showing that all of the cultural change that they were fighting for all these years was for nothing. It all just comes toppling down the second that we find this magic cure for obesity. And I'm seeing a lot of pushback for it. So let's take a look at first of all, this activist, or rather, we'll look at the first example of the trend. So you can see this thin woman posted a version of herself in real life, and then you see the chubby filter show you what she would look like if she were fat. AI is powerful. And there's the fat version of her.
I need to make one of this where I do the filter and it's just the same picture.
And this person who posted it is unhappy. There's this new trend on TikTok where skinny girls use a filter to become chubby and laugh at the results, and everyone else laughs, and it's so funny. And we definitely aren't spiraling back down to pro-Anna death to fats era that damages every young woman.
What was it called?
What?
Say that last part again.
We definitely aren't spiraling back down to pro-Anna death to fats era.
What? Anna, explain that.
Anorexia.
Oh, okay.
They're saying this is promoting anorexia.
Okay.
Even though the woman who is thin in the photo is not underweight or even close to that. Here's a fat activist next reacting to this trend.
So there's a trend on TikTok, and it is where people are sharing photos of themselves with a chubby filter. This is where we're at in 2025. I am so sick of having this conversation again and again. Why is it do you people fear fatness so damn much? Okay? Why is my body, my weight, my size up for conversation all the time? Why is it your greatest nightmare to look like me? Why is fatness deemed to be the worst thing anyone could ever possibly be?
That's the one where it's like the couple you knew in high school when you come back for the reunion.
I'm getting so sick of this, and the blatant
You're not sick of it. You're going to keep talking about this. It will never stop.
anti-fatness in today's society. It is, it's so hurtful.
She's beside herself. And, you know, it's not that it's their worst fear. It's just that it's natural to not want to die young. Like,
I saw Camelot posted something the other day that said, like, alarming fact, all of the big body positivity influencers from 5 years ago are all dead.
they're like, she's saying in this video, why is it so horrible to you to think that you might look like me? I don't know, because I don't want to die young. Because, like, I don't want to suffer for every waking moment of my life. I want to be able to breathe properly. I don't want my joints to hurt when I walk around every day. I want to be able to, like, play with my children. I want to live a long, happy life. Like, why is that bad? I don't know. I want to look good in the clothes that I have, and I want to feel proud of myself. Like, that's why. And also, she's acting like all these people on TikTok are making fun of me. Me, I'm the victim. No, you're actually, like, not part of the conversation. They are actually using photos of themselves. It would be different if they were using photos of you to make fun of you, but they're not. They're using photos of themselves. You weren't even part of the conversation. You're inserting yourself into it to make yourself the victim of this trend.
Correct.
Is people are making self-deprecating jokes.
Correct. I don't even see the need to make it like something about their, like, wanting to live longer. It's like, maybe you just want to look a specific way and that's okay. you're allowed to do that. And they weren't talking to you specifically anyways. Most likely, every single one of these women would lie to your face and tell you you're beautiful anyways.
Yeah.
Not to say that you don't believe that, but they don't believe that, but they're going to tell you that anyways, because women will lie to you about that.
You shouldn't listen to them. This is something I've seen circulate on social media quite a few times. It's this screenshot from a post on 4chan. And you can see this photo of a random Instagram girl. They caption it, "My GF has a pouch-like pic." You can see it's circled. This girl's stomach is circled in the photo. And it doesn't seem to go away no matter how hard she hits the gym. Is surgery my only hope?
The my only hope part is crazy work.
This guy is, if this post is even real.
Yes,
right?
it sounds fake.
If this post is even real, this guy is saying that his girlfriend looks like the girl in the photo. And he is wondering if she has to get liposuction to get rid of the extra fat on her stomach.
I'm going to tell you that the reason, assuming that this is real, right? And this isn't fake. The reason
Let's go with that.
The reason that posts like this exist is because there's an absolute 500-pound gorilla of a woman somewhere saying, this is what real women look like. Women have curves. Meanwhile, she just looks like Kilimanjaro. Like, that's a thing where they exaggerate beyond all comprehension that they can justify whatever they look like at any size and say, this is just what women look like. So this is just the male counterpoint to that, where they're just taking it the whole opposite direction.
I wouldn't say it's extreme to point out that this girl is overweight, though. She's not grievously ill. Like, she's very pretty. She's also young, and, you know, she just has some extra weight. But she is overweight. She is overweight. That's fair to point out. And that's probably not what she wanted to look like at the time, because as you can see in new photos of this girl, she lost that weight and is thin now because the trend has shifted. Yeah, this is what she looks like now because the trend is toward skinny.
Wait, I'm so confused. Is this girl
the girl circled in that photo is the one above? Yes, in these photos. She looks less happy, but she's...
Well, yeah, she's too... Well,
thin.
To be fair, she doesn't have a glass of wine in her
She also
hands.
does not have Ozempic face. I'm willing to believe that this was natural. She doesn't look like Scott Disick.
Yes.
You know? So you can see even fat people are tired of being fat. You know, they're tired of telling themselves and everyone else that they're happy just the way they look. Because that's obviously a lie and a cope. So what would you say? I mean... A lot of men were arguing to no end about which version of this girl is more attractive.
I mean, men arguing about this in general is kind of...
It's kind of gay, right?
Gay. Yeah.
I just think people underestimate how much of what's attractive to you depends on what's fashionable in the era in which you live. Like, maybe in the 2010s, the girl in the old photo was more fitting the beauty standard, and then in the 2020s the girl in the after photo is fitting today's beauty standard.
I mean, call me cynical, but I just tend to think that with Ozempic being as readily available as it is now, that people aren't changing their habits, they're just using medication to get thin. Well,
someone who is allegedly doing it the right way, the natural way, changing her lifestyle instead of taking Ozempic, is Lizzo. And let's just forget about all of these vain concerns about how you look in a skin-tight dress. Lizzo just feels happier now.
That's what matters.
Yeah, she's talking to her fans in this video about how she was dealing with depression in the recent past, and now she has recovered from that state. And it probably has a lot to do with improving her health.
She's going to be even more unstoppable during performances because her knees probably won't hurt as much because she was already like in really, really, really good stage shape, meaning that she could dance for hours apparently at a time during her shows and not be tired, kind of like a linebacker who's in really good shape despite the fact that they look huge. You know, she's going to add years to her life with knees in better shape.
Well, in this video, I didn't know that she was still doing concerts because she announced a career hiatus, but she's opening up to her fans about dealing with depression in a concert in LA.
Yeah.
Let's pull that up.
It's 3 minutes long. Are we going to listen to the whole thing?
No.
No. Okay.
It's not on the screen.
And I named it that because about a year and a half ago,
Do men benefit from the thing where you get really personal with like a million people at once? Like, I guess
We saw Shawn Mendes doing that.
Yeah.
Remember?
Well, I said men.
I was in such a dark, deep depression. I was so heartbroken by the world and so deeply hurt that I didn't want to live anymore.
She does look very different already.
And I was so deeply afraid of people that I didn't want to be seen.
What does that even mean?
You
were a performer. You were literally always seen. Is
yeah,
she talking like
I think
before
she
that?
stepped back from her career and announced this hiatus so that she could lose the weight.
Okay.
And eventually, I got over that fear, and I went to a concert, kind of like this, a little bigger. And as I was walking through the crowd to get to my spot, something miraculous happened. Somebody who I didn't know looked at me and said, "Lizzo, I love you." And they reached out, and I reached back, and we hugged, and it felt so damn good. And then it was 10 people, then it was 100 people, then it was 1,000 people, and then it was 10,000 people showering me with love and support. And
That sounds
reaching
terrifying.
That would have been more meaningful if it was from like somebody in your actual life, but this is just fan adulation. It's actually unhealthy.
I think that she's also referring to what she was going through with her getting canceled
I guess.
and the lawsuit from her backup dancers.
Well, in that case, I've been absolved
But
of
that's the thing.
my accused bad behavior by people who don't care.
She was getting canceled and she was getting accused of misconduct and everything. She stepped back from her career, lost a bunch of her extra weight, and suddenly public opinion of her has shifted. So if anything, she just learned how to kind of cynically manipulate people with her public image in a way that's advantageous to her.
Rand Dizzle in the chat says, "Bro, there's plenty of musicians that don't want to be seen but do want to perform. Her social media presence would make this not the point of that." What I'm saying, like, that would be somebody who
That's fair. Yeah.
stays private but does their performances. She's very vocal, was always very vocal on social media, and very willing to push back on people who didn't agree with her choices. So
I do hope that eventually Lizzo is going to admit that she was wrong about body positivity, but it's not too late yet. We'll see.
we'll have to wait and see. I just feel like that wasn't the most, like, all it says is you got bombarded with adulation from 1,000 people who love you, that are fans, so they have a parasocial relationship with you. Like,
That's
that's
true.
not the same thing as loving yourself, and it's not the same thing as finding love amongst your equals or your peers.
Well, I think that there's a difference between self-indulgence and actual self-love. The term self-love is thrown around a lot by people like Lizzo, but she is correcting the record.
Thanks for watching. Listen to full episodes of Pop Culture Crisis on Spotify.
Keep up with us on social media and make sure you subscribe and ring that bell so you never miss the show. Bye, guys.